Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second match of the first season of the
Yeah,
Monkey
okay.
League. I am here with Felix Zemdegs, and we will be spectating and commentating Lucas Etter versus Leo Borromeo. Uh,
hmm
Lucas, of course,
Okay.
got the first Tetris ever, and Leo is the reigning champion of the Monkey League. So, Felix, what are your thoughts going into this match? I know you're a big fan of both these competitors. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, would you say that Lucas invented the Tetris?
Uh, Lucas was the OG Tetris master. He's the first one in competition. So yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible moment in cubing history. Like you say, I'm a big fan of both of these competitors. I suppose, you know, I think this will be a very, very exciting first round matchup for everyone to come and watch. And I think, you know, I would assume that the chat and all the viewers would be thinking Leo's got this in the bag, but I don't know, with the first to 15 format and with just how, I mean, close these guys are in speed, or close everyone is in speed, I think it can go either way. Clearly, I mean, I would if I had to put money on it, I would put money on Leo, but I would not be surprised at all. It could easily go either way, and I'm
Yeah,
really excited to see what sort of times these guys are going to throw down today for us.
and I was reading some Instagram comments on some posts, and there was people saying like, "Oh, I'm rooting for Lucas," and I saw Leo responding to those comments saying, "I'm also rooting for Lucas." So he might be throwing. We'll see. But
Yeah, no, I know Leo's a big fan of all the older cubers. He's probably watched them growing up on YouTube and is absolutely loving the opportunity to compete against them and destroy them. Well, destroy some of them. And so yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, these competitors don't need an introduction, but I feel like we should definitely give them each a real proper introduction. So who do you want to take?
I'll introduce Lucas Etter. Lucas Etter is he's a longtime speed cuber. Back in the day, he was number two in the world, I believe, right behind Feliks for like average 3x3. He's always been a great guy. Progressing in cubing, first sub five ever. I believe he has one 3x3 national championship and a few other national championships, as well as several world records in 2x2 and 3x3. And he's of course famous for the 490, as well as his third place finish at Worlds, his second place finish at the most recent nationals. He's a very, very consistent, high level competitive speed cuber, and I'm excited to see, because Leo is pretty fast, but Lucas definitely has that competitive experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I would add on to that. Lucas, obviously one of the most loved members of the cubing community, in my view. So that's something he's got going for him. He's got a lot of supporters out there, and yeah, like you say, incredibly consistent performer over the years. Podiuming in 3x3 at US Nationals 2014 through 2016, and also again back in 2019, and again Worlds 2017. So he's
I
here,
th-
yeah.
I
He's,
think
he's
he's
been in so many
actually
big 3x3 finals.
He's actually been podiuming in basically every major competition he attends, which is quite an impressive achievement. Uh,
That is indeed incredibly impressive. So what is that since 2014? If you exclude,
I mean, he didn't
oh,
compete in
okay,
if he didn't
yeah,
compete in 2018, right? And
exactly.
yeah,
Unfortunately, not there, but he's
yeah,
yeah, when he's there, he's up there.
yeah, and of
And
course,
so for
yeah,
so that's Lucas. Everyone knows Lucas, and Leo. Everyone is very much starting to know Leo as I mean, he's been, to be honest, he's been in the scene for at least a good couple of years now. I remember starting to watch videos of Leo around 2017, early 2018 from memory, and being just blown away. Like you remember, I remember back in the day seeing these young kids. There was a Brazilian Cuba who was like probably around similar age to Leo, and people were like, incredibly blown away by the times that he was getting. I can't remember, Chan Hong Lik, I think it was the name. But people were blown away by this, kid under 10 years old doing sub 10 times. And then along comes Leo, less than 10 years old and competing with the best in the world. And so, I mean, he hasn't competed as much as everyone else. And, in time over the next few years, he'll definitely have the opportunity to do that and put down some incredible times that he's absolutely capable of. But to this date, I mean, he's, at an incredibly young age of 10, he came second in Asian Championships 2018. Like, that is incredible. Like,
yeah,
that is crazy. And I mean, he's also got a close friend of similar age, Sean Villanueva, who kind of one-upped him and came second place at the World Championship. So he's got the local competition going on, but he's been super active on these online competitions. And I mean, he won the Monkey League season warm-up, which was a pretty epic match. I'm going to say, for me, that's the best match that I've seen so far. But I'm sure the actual season will top it.
All right, so let's get into it here. The format is first to 15, LaZer format, just like the rest of the season. And all right, let's get into it.
How do you think the first match went, Phil?
The first match? I was pretty impressed with Bill's composure. Luke is definitely a very fast cuber, but like I had a feeling Bill was going to win just because of his competitive experience. And it definitely showed, like, Luke was definitely getting nervous. Bill didn't really get nervous. He just remained super solid.
Yeah, it was an impressive comeback. I think he was 6-10 down.
Live or is this practice?
Kind of struggled out of the gates and then came back to win 16-10. So 10 points in a row to get the win, which was pretty impressive.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
So it looks like Lucas was not aware that we were starting, but we are indeed starting. And if you are new to the season, we do have a new scramble checking procedure and judges calling out inspection and verifying the validity of the scrambles and times for both competitors. So we're trying to make this a little bit more legitimate, just for competitive sake. And we've had some problems with that in the past. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone who's cheering bits. I see Slice Cuber throwing up some bits, subscription. Big Yuggy, thanks for the sub. Appreciate the support, guys. Most of it does just go straight back to the competitors and making the league better. Yeah.
So we've got Lucas starting out here. Not too sure what's going on with the scramble and whether Leo's been able to access that scramble or what's going to.
Yeah, it looks like Leo's having some sort of technical problem, so we're going to
this is familiar. Just a quick question from my end regarding technical issues, because as we all know, I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to this. How do I mute the judges in the Discord?
So you right click on them and then you should be able to mute them. Yes.
Hold on. Because it's been rather distracting so far. I right click.
Yes.
Mute. Oh boy.
Did you figure it out?
Haven't quite figured it out, but I can deal with the background noise.
Oh yeah, it's
all right.
62.
So Lucas with the 662. What were I missed what was going on here? Did Leo get the 641 on the first solve, or is that a warm-up?
No, they haven't started yet.
You want me to read it every time?
We are set now, apparently. So we're about to. Oh, wait, did we miss? Okay, so we missed the first solve. It was 641 to 642.
Okay, well, some very solid starts for both competitors.
Yeah, I mean, neck and neck already. And Lucas, I mean, this is going to be another interesting one. I feel like the competitive experience dynamic is a bit different here because Leo, of course, does have all this Monkey League experience. One of the most, probably the most successful online competitor.
This looks like a pretty good solve from Leo as well. 609, nice little U-perm at the end there. Lucas, I've noticed he's doing his his TPS is pretty crazy on all his warm-ups, and the first solve TPS was pretty incredible as well. So it looks like
wow, Lucas's TPS.
What an incredible solve there from Lucas.
Wow,
583.
So Lucas
takes it 1-all.
His
sorry, not 1-all. New format.
Yes. But you know the head-to-head does matter a little bit for that extra bonus point for the sweep, and both competitors with the same mean essentially. And Lucas's TPS, I must say, looks fantastic.
So
and,
next scramble.
You know, for Lucas, if he's in good form with his hands, he can be he's a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Absolutely, very solid starts from both competitors. Looks like a bit of a block here on the first on this third scramble, and Leo's definitely taken full advantage of that. A little bit of a lock up on the PLO, but I mean, 596 there. It's a very, very solid solve.
Lucas
What's Leo
taking
got here? He's pulling out another cube from his bag, or attempting to. He's got it out there. Puts it on the table. Bit of a warm-up cube, I think. Employing the Lucas Etter strategy, and Lucas obviously taking his time here, but that is fine.
And an interesting dynamic to observe will be the difference between the white cross only and the color neutral. It doesn't seem to be affecting Lucas too much yet, although that one looked like a pretty long F2L solution.
Yeah, they look like a bit of a color neutral block. I can't even remember what cross color Leo did there, but they looked like a decent non-white block for the start of that previous solve. So maybe Leo getting a bit of an advantage there on the color neutral side, but
I mean, it's early. It's not really gonna matter too much, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the big disadvantage of color neutral is when you get those types of scrambles where you have absolutely no idea which cross you're going to select, and that's when the white cross solvers do very, very well relative to color neutral solvers.
For sure. And
Leo just smashing another sub 6.
Very casual.
Worst solve at the first 4, 6.41. That's solid. That's very solid. And Lucas needs a good one here to stay alive in the average, I would suspect.
And Leo did just take the best single there.
Didn't look particularly pleased with that scramble either. Looks like Leo's probably taken this almost certainly taken this first average.
Yeah, he's already taken the average.
Yeah,
and he could get a sub 6 average here for the first one.
That would be a very nice start for Leo. Fastest single so far, 576. So that solve puts Leo with the 1 point for fastest single, but that's definitely beatable for Lucas, and so I suppose he'll be looking to beat that on this solve.
Yeah,
I think in Lucas's situation here, you just pretty much have to go out and risk, fast turning, risky finger tricks to try and get that fast single.
For sure, but Leo's putting down a pretty fast
Lucas
single.
do an even faster one.
Oh!
A
+2.
That's a shame. And he's definitely gone for it. That was a speedy solve from Lucas, but not quite enough for the first average. Judges, that +2 is applied to the final solve. 586 +2 is 786 for the last. So Lucas's average, 650. That is nothing. No, not 650. Sorry, 672. That is
672,
nothing to be sneezed at. But Leo with a 6.15. That's going to give him the win and the extra point for the single.
Next
so it goes 3-0.
Do I go?
Wow, Leo's with a pretty dominant start, but Lucas had a counting 7 there, so he's definitely going to look to improve on that.
Yeah, and if I was Lucas, I wouldn't be too displeased with that. I mean, we've certainly seen Leo's capable of these incredible times, but also he has been on occasion hitting more inconsistent averages. So it's not like he's going to get 6.1 every single average. There's going to be opportunities where you can snag points. I say that very well in mind that Leo could literally just get 6.1 averages for the rest of the day.
There he goes, 646.
646 with a shake of the head. He's not liking it. It's not a good one. Worst solve. No, not worst solve. Well, worst solve without the +2 of the day for Leo.
Yeah.
Lucas repping the Under Armour. I think it's one of his favorite brands. We've got a miss scramble here for Lucas, so he's going to have to redo that.
It looked like both competitors had a miss scramble actually.
That's incorrect too, I think. What am I doing wrong? I think I did the same mistake twice in a row.
Maybe he was reading the wrong scramble or something, but here we
I'll do
go.
it slower this time.
Lucas gonna be careful on the scrambles now. Leo getting through solve 2.
717.
717.
Really displeased with
Okay,
that.
there we go.
And he's opening the door. I think that's starting to be a pretty beatable time. Even with white cross only, you can pretty consistently average mid-6. So
Yeah, like I said, there's no one who can, no one yet who can go just low 6 consistently forever.
yeah,
there's
Max Park is doing that pretty close, almost.
well, in compies he's pretty good. Yeah, I don't have too strong of a sense of how he goes at home, but obviously it's pretty nuts. But there's mistakes that creep into everyone's solve. Mistakes and lockups, and then Lucas gets 6.27 on the second one.
He did something weird there with the last slot. I'm not sure if it was VLS or something, but
yeah, it looked to be. I didn't quite catch it. Looked to be some sort of OLS.
yeah, something like that. That was kind of weird.
Don't know if it was necessarily VLS.
Yeah. Well,
last slot plus OLL kind of combination.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, we got someone in the chat saying Felix is a great commentator.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Shout out.
In the chat, make sure you cheer for Lucas, cheer for Leo, bump up those numbers. Leo onto his third solve here.
Okay, Leo
Oh,
throwing down a
573.
5.
Yeah, so this is also a technical question, but it seems like the microphone connected to my headset is not the one that is being used.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure, because I'm guessing this is a pretty.
I'm pretty sure. Well, the thing is, it's just.
Oh, that is so unlucky for Lucas.
No, a +2. Oh, that hurts, and that's gonna be
that is a
counting
killer.
761.
Okay.
He was doing pretty
I
well.
think-
That average. Man, that's rough.
+2.
Yeah, it's a +2.
Yeah, but I think the problem with your mic is that it's just a little bit close and poppy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's discuss this after.
Yeah.
On to solve 4. That's an unfortunate one for Lucas, but gives him a mid-7, which, if things go his way, he can still take the average. But you're kind of in a situation where you're relying on your opponent here.
Okay.
Leo, a few lockups on the PLL. He's now counting that 646 and the 669. So is Lucas definitely not out of it here? Definitely not out of it.
No, if he can throw down some 5s here, he definitely has a chance. Especially if Leo manages to count that 717.
What's Leo doing with his cheeks there? Patting his cheeks. It's good stuff.
Oh wow, Lucas with a nice solve going here. Interesting
Yeah, that's
U-turn.
very solid. Very solid from Lucas.
Yeah, and if he had that 561 without the +2, he would definitely be in good shape here. But otherwise, Okay, Leo needs a 708 to lock.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not going to be too hard for Leo, I'm afraid.
You would think so, but I think the pressure of knowing what time you need to lock the average definitely adds a bit of tension to the solve.
Yeah. Oh.
But this looks like a very solid solve here, and he's got a nice little
nice
2GLL.
Oh,
not
man,
executed particularly well at all.
Kind of a stuffed solve, honestly, but the ZBLL saved him there.
Yeah,
and he's got the
he's claimed the average there. Now Lucas in a similar situation to last round, where he needs a 573 or below to get the single point. I feel like probably 708 is one of those times where for competitors like Leo, let's wait till after this off. Not quite from Lucas. So Leo takes that round 3-0 again. So I feel like 708, or probably the 7 mark for someone like a Leo, or Timo and a Max, and even Lucas and others. It's kind of that range where if you see a semi-decent cross and probably your first 2 pairs in inspection that are like reasonable to execute, you can pretty much safety the rest of the solve and get a sub 7 at this kind of level.
Yeah.
So the decision is, I suppose probably the decision for Leo in a match play kind of scenario is more dependent on the scramble. I would say. So if he gets a kind of easy scramble, I think with a 708, he'd be more inclined to take it easier and go a bit more for a safety solve. Whereas if the scramble's a bit trickier, he probably needs to ramp up the TPS to try and really get that 708.
Yeah, and on that solve, it did look like he was going for TPS, but he was getting a lot of lockups. And I think if he didn't get the ZBLL, he definitely would have not gotten the 708. So.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. It looked like he did It looked like some sort of sledgehammer, or sledgehammer variant on the last slot to force the ZB. He got a nice 2GL case, a very nice case, but the execution was a bit off.
Yeah, and the execution on the sledge is also off. So yeah.
But look at us here criticizing Leo's solves when
he's just gonna get a 5.
When he's pulling out stuff like this. He had a ZB there, but don't think he knew that one. 623 solid solve to start the 3rd round.
Yeah, and that was one of those ZBs where he just does a little TLO.
Yeah.
Just
locking up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But stays in there, hangs in there for that solve to post a 7.5. Lucas not super happy at the moment. A few shakes of the head here and there. I think that the +2 was a real unfortunate one for Lucas.
Yeah, because without
that would have been the fastest single of the round.
Yeah, and it would have set him up for a much more comfortable spot on the last solve for sure.
Yeah, and when it's a first to 15, the 3-point swing is quite big.
For sure. Wow, Leo very solid today.
Leo of 592. Lucas chucks on the hoodie. I like it. No, I would agree with one of the folks in the chat there who said Lucas doesn't seem to give up, unlike a certain commentator. I would definitely agree with that. Lucas, no matter what happens in his solves, and there we go, 587. I was just going to say, no matter what happens throughout, it seems like he just continues turning at a rapid pace, never kind of stops and just gives up on a solve.
Yeah,
which is what you got to do in these match play events.
Yeah, never giving up. Lucas very well known for his perseverance, of course.
Absolutely. I think another commentator has done a bit of documentary YouTube work on Lucas, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more that most of us don't know about about Lucas in the last few years that he's been through.
For sure. And a 558.
And the comeback. Oh,
my God.
Leo just smashing out another mid-5. I think that's the fastest single that we've had so far, which doesn't seem that fast relative to the averages. So hoping for a few Tetrises before the day is out. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed. Lucas continuing to solve very consistently. 646 there. It's a good one.
Yeah, and Lucas solving decently well. I mean, that +2 definitely hurt him, but I would say his solving is pretty close to his best level that I've seen.
Yeah,
but
absolutely, absolutely.
Leo's just really, really good sub-6. So
yeah, I mean, if Lucas was up against Bill or Luke Reiser here, and putting down these times, he'd be in a very comfortable lead at the moment. But it just so happens that his opponent is, I mean, arguably, probably the fastest unofficial 3x3 solver, I would say, in the world at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't know too much about Max's at home times, but certainly the times Leo posts insane stack mat averages, I'd say put him unofficially probably the best in the world.
And of course, the best where it matters in the Monkey League. He already takes this average.
Of course, he's already taken the average,
and he can get another sub-6 average here if he manages to beat his get a sub-6 on this one, I think, and he should have a sub-6 average.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, these solves from Leo so far, you haven't seen any of those kind of really big mistakes and massive lockups and kind of give ups that I kind of saw in the team owned match. Kind of, you'd see one solve every average or one solve every couple of average where he'd completely give up, but the consistency so far has been incredible.
Yeah, and maybe he took a moment to analyze. Okay, that one not.
There we go,
good.
793.
Just as you say, just as you say it. But yeah, maybe he's been working on that. Competitors always looking to improve themselves.
Oh, Lucas was going so well there. He was going so well there. Had a real shot at the single.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, locked up on that G-Pam.
That's brutal.
That's a shame.
Losing with the 668, man, it's tough.
Obviously, Lucas. It's early morning in America. Still kind of warming up, I would imagine. Whereas Leo's
been up for a while.
What's the time? 10:30 in the Philippines. He's been queuing all day, of course. And Lucas there with a 668 average, which is incredibly solid. We can't fault Lucas's times at all at the moment.
What's the score?
The score is 9-0.
Okay.
And here we go. I mean, Leo is taking a massive lead here. Lucas told me he was just hoping it would be somewhat close, and I would say it has been pretty close, but the score definitely does not reflect that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. This score line does not reflect the relative speeds of the solvers so far. Lucas has been a bit unlucky on some of the singles. Especially that second average, the critical single, and then that third average, the final single there as well.
You can say he's getting unlucky, or you can just realize that Leo is just not giving anything here.
Yeah, Leo is not giving an inch at all. Like the bad times or the worst times that he's getting, it seemed to be on the last solve where he's already clinched the average. So Lucas taking the first solve there of this fourth round, 676 versus Leo's 701.
Yeah, but Lucas is probably thinking to himself that he needed a little bit better there to, because in the average format, when your opponent gets a really bad time, that's a great opportunity to get something really good. Because maybe your opponent just wasted a scramble, and getting a 676, not a bad time, but definitely not going to be a very fast counting time. So maybe a missed opportunity there, and Lucas did not look too happy about the execution on that one.
think we might have a missed scramble there for Leo. Or maybe not.
Okay, maybe he just missed the last B2.
Lucas locking up a little bit here on this second solve, getting a 9-12. So needs 3 good ones for the rest of the average. Leo on his second solve here now. Question in the chat, why are they putting the cube cover in front of the cube and then putting it over?
So we do have scramble checkers. Just verifying the scrambles that the competitors are doing, because you know they are scrambling their own puzzles. And wow, Leo with a 788 there. That was a real big missed opportunity for Lucas.
Or for Leo.
Or for Leo, yeah. I mean, true, because Lucas got a 912. But yeah, we do have scramble checkers that are actually verifying the scrambles, and that's why they put the cube kind of outside the cover so that the competitor can't see it, but the judges who are watching the video feeds can. And a 504 for Leo.
We almost had a Tetris there. Didn't look too pleased with the ZBL execution, but fastest solve of the matchup so far. Leo Borromeo 504.
Oh, and Lucas
going
throwing
pretty
nice
well as well.
here.
Looked like quite a nice scramble on that one. Lucas just with a shake of the head, realizing that in 2020 5.7s just aren't going to do it.
And you know, Lucas actually, he's in there in this average.
Yeah, he's got a fast accounting time at the moment.
For sure, and he could... I mean, the mean is kind of deceiving with the 9. So yeah, he's definitely in this right now.
Yeah, I would think from Lucas's perspective, he's... Oh, look at this.
Leo.
Yeah, 577. From Lucas's perspective, he's kind of just equating that 9 to a DNF.
For sure.
Like you just want to kind of put that out of your mind and just, you need 2 good solves to finish. Ignore the 9. This looks like a pretty good solve from Lucas. A couple of small lockups on the last layer there, 748. So, Leo, I'm not sure if he hasn't locked the average here yet. Needs a 724 to lock the average. So kind of in that range of, if it's an easy scramble, you can probably safety it. But
This
if
is a
it's
pretty
not,
similar situation to the last round.
So I'd be interested to see what his approach here is. Then I suppose, depending on what Leo gets, that might change Lucas's tactic also. Probably not. Lucas probably just needs to go for as quick as possible.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Leo getting a couple of nastier last layer cases there. Not a great OLL case and into an F turn.
Well, Lucas really, really needs a Tetris here to have any
if
chance.
there was ever a time for a Tetris,
then now's the time. Yes. He does not want to get beat 15-0. That would be unfortunate. Lockups.
Still a good
Still a
solve.
5-9. They get the same time.
And they match it with the 599.
Leo with the oak.
Leo's just trolling right now. And again, Lucas with the mid to high 6 average, just
and Leo with the low
churning
6.
them out. But Leo with a low 6. So that's kind of the story of this match so far. Lucas doing very, very well.
Yeah,
Leo just
I think
doing
against any other
God
competitor,
mode.
Lucas would be in this. But
Absolutely.
Against Leo.
What's Leo doing here? Leo doing a bit of a wave. I wonder what he's drinking in that cup.
Probably just water.
I don't know.
Whatever he's drinking, it's good for his solves.
Good to hydrate. Lucas also drinking the water. I might join. All right, so we got 12-0 at the moment. See if Lucas can snag a few points, win an average.
Wow, Leo with the
And we have our first
Tetris!
Tetris.
Boom, Tetris for Leo. He is not going to give an inch to Lucas in this match. He's not giving any opportunities. My goodness. We love to see a Tetris. That is Leo's first Tetris of the season.
I'm so
And
glad.
Lucas with a 5-12! And he doesn't win!
Oh, so close to a double Tetris.
Oh my goodness.
What incredible solves.
Lucas's
Imagine if we got
face
the double
there.
Tetris there. Lucas just shakes his head, realizing in 2020, 5.1s just don't cut it.
Oh my goodness. Lucas was so... I mean, his face there says it all.
Must have been an easy scramble, although I didn't see anything particularly great, but Leo having a bit of trouble here on this solve.
And I think
Definitely,
the
definitely knows best
exhilaration...
work there.
I think the
Yeah,
exhilaration
adrenaline
from the
must be
force...
pumping after the Tetris.
Yeah, for sure. You often see that, like, if you get a Tetris, you just kind of struggle on the next solve because you're still so excited.
Yeah,
Lucas,
no,
with that
absolutely.
competitive experience, not going to be affected. Oh, no.
Oh!
And a 591.
But he's shaking his head because he knows it could have been another low 5. He absolutely knows that. But
Oh my
still,
goodness.
so solid, so solid. Lucas flying at the moment.
My goodness.
Lucas is warmed up.
Is it too little, too late, or will we see the greatest comeback in history here? We'll see. Lucas'
Yeah,
famous
is-
first comebacks.
Does Leo still have too much adrenaline from the initial Tetris? Maybe you don't want to get Tetrises in the Monkey League.
Ooh,
In the
and
average
some
of 5
lockups
format.
Here.
Few
Oh,
lockups,
wow, what a
but
solid
still
solve by
manages to-
Leo. Even with all those lockups, still throwing down a 631. Just not giving up during the solve. That's a great strategy.
Lucas going really well. Only the one rotation there. And it's going such an
A
incredible,
584!
incredible last play at TPS, and Lucas is killing it this average.
Look,
And I'm
Lucas
sure
with
the
the
chat is
fist bump.
loving it.
Lucas with the fist bump. He is hyped.
Lucas with 3 straight 5s. This is what we want to see.
Chat is cheering. My goodness, I see Timon in the chat. Go, go, go. Keep it up, man. We love to see it.
This is some hype. The TPS is real. Leo into the 4 solve now. Having a bit of trouble here on this one.
Oh, and that's
trouble
leaving the
with
door wide open for Lucas
With
Etter.
an 832. Lucas Lucas doesn't need much to win here at all. And this looks to be solid, not special, but I think this will do it.
That's gonna do it. Lucas
I think this will do
Etter.
it.
Oh my goodness. He needs a 671 to
706.
lock. Are you kidding me?
Well, I think that's because Leo has the 4.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Leo's a threat to get a 3 at any time.
So technically Leo could count the 4, and I say technically, but realistically, I wouldn't be surprised. But I would say, yeah, it's pretty much locked here for Lucas.
See what Leo gets.
Leo's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Leo's still going to get the point for the single unless Lucas can pull out a.
And so what Lucas needs to do here is get a Tetris. If
Yeah,
there was ever a
this is,
time, this is it.
Leo's.
Yeah.
He's given up. He's given up points.
And a nice
And
solid
another
solve for
very
Lucas.
solid solve, yeah.
Beautiful average. He's gonna take that one 2-1,
Oh, so close to a
but he's
4-0.
certainly pleased with that. Not
Yeah,
losing
if it-
15-0. Oh my god.
If it wasn't for that Tetris, that was a 4-0 to Lucas.
Oh, that's true. That was almost a 4-0.
It's a
Oh.
very, very strong composure there from Lucas after the initial
Wait, what's the score? Like
Tetris v
14-2?
5.1. The score,
Oh,
Lucas, is 13-2.
And we're seeing some incredible class by Lucas here, staying composed with that competitive experience, definitely showing.
Yeah, these averages have been very, very good from both competitors.
And actually, roles reversed here. Leo with the high 6 average and Lucas with the low 6 average. I guess that's how it's going to be in the Monkey League. Well, once again, Leo has the opportunity to win the match. We're going to be saying this for the rest of the match.
Yeah, so basically Leo from here needs
He
to
only
needs
needs
to win the average
He
of
only
5.
needs the average, and he wins. So.
And he's got many shots. This is the equivalent of 6 match points in tennis.
Yeah. Good clutch
Solving
master.
pretty well.
Oh.
Looks like a ZB, but not the greatest execution on the ZB. I feel like I've said that a couple of times today.
Lucas struggling with the scramble. Nice!
Very nice solve. 602 there from Lucas. That's one of the I feel like that's one of the more rewarding feelings in cubing is when you get a scramble that's kind of really not very nice and you don't plan very much, but then you manage to either execute well or you get some nice cases and it ends up being a very solid solve after what was, in your mind, not going to be a good solve based on the scramble. That's one of the more fulfilling feelings.
And I think it's even more fulfilling considering the match situation and the fact that Leo got a 672. He's got to be feeling okay about his chances right now. And Leo's struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a PLL
Is
skip.
that a PLL skip?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's some.
That is,
That's
you got
BS.
bailed there. You got bailed. No! Did Lucas get a PLL skip too? I think they both got a PLL skip. Throw your PLL
Really?
sips in chat, folks. Throw your PLL sips in chat.
Nice one. No, one look last layers, I think.
Oh, okay. I mean, both competitors look like they got very lucky at the end of the solve.
Yeah, no, I think those are pure PLL skips. And I don't know if there was even AUF on either of them,
No.
from what I remember.
Oh, wow, Leo!
Oh, this is solid. This is
oh,
so
boom,
solid.
Tetris! Whoa! A 456! Wow.
Leo churning out the Tetrises for the Monkey League.
Not letting up.
And that was a completely full step solve. That was just from what I saw, that was just like completely full step, incredible F to L, and just finishes with an A perm. I don't remember what the OL was, but it looked
What?
yeah. And to get a mid forward, like a 4.56 on, I don't know, like obviously it's a low move count, but the solve itself didn't seem especially crazy. Like, yeah, this kid, he's good.
Yes. And the match situation is such that Lucas could win the next 2 averages and Leo could still win the match with just single points. He's got such a big advantage.
As we've seen so far, Leo is the king of the single solves.
He's struggling. He's doing some weird keyhole there. That's not going to work at all. A 956.
I believe the term is pseudo-slotting, Philip.
Didn't look like pseudo-slotting. It just looked like bad keyhole.
Nah, whenever you do D moves in F12, definitely pseudo-slotting.
Oh, for sure.
And Lucas failing to capitalize on that, but they're pretty evenly poised heading into the final solve.
Yeah, and
So,
Leo needs
Leo
a
with
587.
704.
He needs a 587
Lucas-
to lock. That is not easy. But I guess it's an interesting match strategy question here. Should Lucas go for the Tetris, or should he just try and win the average? Because, getting a Tetris definitely takes a little bit more risk in terms of, like, aggressiveness with TPS. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
mean,
you don't. You,
he can't let Leo
I
get
think he's-
points, so it's hard to say.
I think he's going to employ the Timon strategy of waiting to see what Leo gets on this solve.
Oh,
Oh,
589.
and he gets
Oh,
589. So
wait!
this means Lucas.
Lucas
he
can
needs,
win it
needs-
with a sub 6.
Yeah, I think he needs probably like a 604 or something.
Oh, and he's looking good!
Oh, that is
The
so
lockup!
close. Ah, not quite.
No!
Not quite the TPS on the last layer that was required there, I think. And so
No!
they're going to be,
Is
yeah.
that it?
Leo finished at
Lucas!
655, Lucas with a 666 average.
A close finish, but that's gonna be it. Lucas Etter already losing the match. I mean, look at that scoreline. Leo 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 1-2, 3-0.
Thanks for judging.
Yeah.
Well, Timon
And-
saying
and-
you got points. Yeah, he got points.
And Lucas looked disappointed throughout the match,
yeah, he's-
maybe a little bit at
he's
the end, but
insane.
I don't think he should be. What do you
I
think?
mean, his times were excellent. I
Yeah,
think his
I know.
average was like mid six,
Might
like
be the best cuber
6.6.
in
He
the
was
world
averaging.
right now, or 3x3 solver.
So I would
It's
definitely not be
ridiculous.
disappointed with a 6.6 average.
Not at all. Not at all. Leo, Leo had the match wrapped up at the start, and I think that lead that he jumped out to basically was unassailable. I mean, once you get to
I
in a
unmute
best
my
of, in a
mic
best
because
of
I didn't do
15 match,
interviews.
once you
So,
get
like,
to
unmute,
9-0 at this level, I think it's pretty much over.
Yeah, especially when
What's
it's
the plan regarding competitor interviews and such?
well. I think we can get Lucas on for an interview for sure. I'm not sure about Leo. His audio tends to be not working so well. So here
I'll
we are,
unmute
Lucas.
Phillip
If
for
you
you.
want to talk to the chat, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Philip.
Okay. Well,
Can the chat hear him?
can you hear Felix as well?
Let me unmute Felix too. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Disrespect. He's muted me.
Okay. Well, Lucas, I think you put up a great showing. Your averages were really good today. But
I actually think
that must have hurt. I mean, like especially that one where
Yeah,
you
I mean-
lost with a 512. That's just brutal.
Yeah, Leo's incredible. Like, I was telling Ben, the judge, like, he might be the best 3x3 solver in the world right now, which is unbelievable. Like, he's so fast, it's ridiculous.
We were saying the same in commentary. So
Yeah.
how did you feel throughout the match? Talk us through the start, and then
Uh-huh.
I suppose when you really started to get amped up,
Yeah,
TPS was flowing, and all those sub sixes were coming through. How was the match for you?
Yeah, so with my like arthritis issues, I kind of have problems with circulation, so it takes me a little while to warm up. So that's why I didn't really go for a timeout, because I knew I was going to get better. But yeah, Leo's just, I don't know, he's too good. No matter what I did, I just couldn't stand a chance. So I'm happy with my showing though. But
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you were averaging like mid 6, and you even threw down a low
Yeah.
6, and
uh-huh.
you got points against Leo, which is pretty impressive on its own.
Yeah, a rolling 5 average of 5. Pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying the scoreline wasn't reflective at all of how close the global averages were, which this happens in normal competitions.
Yeah.
This happens in the monkey league.
Yeah, I agree. I
It's
think
a-
this format really favors the faster cuber, or especially the person who's better at singles, because Leo got me in single every round. I think, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah, and that's Leo's specialty. He loves the Tetris. Loves the Tetris.
Yeah.
Leo, we can't hear you, but I believe the audience can. Oh wait, his camera's frozen. Well, Leo, if you want to join, let's see.
I think we've lost Leo here. He's king of the world. He doesn't need to talk to us anymore. or maybe he's practicing, because those last few averages were quite subpar, I feel.
Oh yeah,
Leo
for sure.
needs to put in some more time, work on those ZBLLs, I reckon.
Yeah.
So Lucas, how are you feeling about the rest of the competition? We were kind of saying that I feel like you'll be incredibly competitive with almost well, pretty much everyone else. It was just so happened that you kind of caught Leo when he was on fire, and he kind of put the match out. Like he sealed the match within the first few rounds as you were just starting to warm up.
Yeah.
So I feel like the format and even the time was not in your favor today, but at a different time against a different competitor, I feel like you're absolutely the favorite.
Yeah, I think my performance would secure me a couple wins at least, but I'll just have to keep that up. So we'll see. I'm really interested to see the Timon Leo rematch though, because I think that is the most competitive match for Leo by far.
Yeah, absolutely. We were kind of saying that in the Timon Leo match. My general impression, I haven't run the stats on this, the general impression was that Timon was just incredibly consistent and Leo was more the high variance solver. But he kind of turned that around today in that his first 4 rounds were, just low six. And we were kind of saying, wow, that's, he's kind of doing the Timon he's going full Timon mode.
Yeah, exactly. I was also really shocked when I got that 5-12. I was like, okay, I got to get this one. And Leo got a 4, and I was like, oh no. That's when I knew it was over. That was my one shot at like a 4-0 if he hadn't lost that solve.
Yeah. That would have been big for you. I mean,
yeah,
exactly.
That was a little frustrating.
And it would have been the first ever double Tetris in the Monkey League, which would have been pretty hype as well. But that'll have to wait.
Yeah.
Any update from Leo?
Unclear.
Someone in the chat says Lucas didn't win because he wasn't sipping a Coke. Thoughts, Lucas?
Yeah, so I'll try to get Coke for next time. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, my video is cooked. Okay, Leo's saying everything is frozen for him. Seems to be having computer issues, so I figure we'll give it a couple of minutes. Well, what's the plan, Mr. Laser Monkey?
So I just want to. Yeah, we can't hear.
Any other thoughts out of that match, Lucas?
What was the score? I don't actually know what the final score was.
It ended up being 16-2. So Lucas got out to a 12-0 lead, and then you got that awesome average. So you got the 2-1, so he got to 13-2, and then he 3-0'd you.
Okay.
On the last. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that helped because I also didn't pay attention to the score. I think that would have overwhelmed me maybe a little bit had I paid attention.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I just treated it like
how did you
race.
Right, that's interesting tactic because I feel like at least for me and probably what I've seen elsewhere, everyone's constantly following the other person's times and the scoreline.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, but then it gets in your head. So that's it. Do you think that definitely helped?
Yeah, I think it helped me focus on the solve more. Also, muting everyone was really helpful. Just limit distractions.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I think it also, that allowed me to treat it as, just a normal practice session because I could kind of get into the flow. I didn't have to worry, okay, this is a new start, so...
Yeah. And what do you think of the format overall? The scoring point system, the first to 15. Do you
You know, I
like
think
it? Do you think it's in your favor, or do you think
I think if
you
you're the
prefer
better
the head to
cuber,
head?
if you're the better cuber and you're generally better at singles, it definitely favors you a lot more than best of 100. But also, I really like the time span of these matches. Like that was pretty quick, and I kind of like that. So you have to be ready, but it's pretty quick. So
Yeah. No, normally they'd go a bit longer. I feel. No, I agree. I agree.
but even like with a competitive match, like I don't know, maybe if you're tied and go into overtime, it'll take a little longer. But even with just the standard match, it should take, I don't know, 60 solves or so, even if it's a little bit competitive.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree. I like the shorter format. The shorter format, I think, competitors as well is especially good. Like you're not
Yeah.
sitting there doing 100 solves,
Yeah.
kind of counting. Like I guess you wouldn't even have a sense of how many solves you've done. Like, or if you like count it, but like to you, it's just like you're solving. Whereas I feel like in the best of 100, at least for me, when I did it, I was like, okay, we're 70 solves in. I've got to do like 30 more solves.
Yeah, I
Here
never thought about that. Yeah.
you're just solving.
Yeah.
It's much shorter. Any update on Leo?
He seems to be having some technical issues, but because I cannot hear him. Well, we'll try and get Leo's interview set up for next time maybe.
Yeah.
You know, Leo's you know, it's rare to talk to Leo. He's generally, his mic's not working. He generally just listens to you and like laughs at your comments. But it's a hard life, yeah. Well, Leo, do you want to text any comments on your thoughts on the match? We thought you were pretty consistent, and yeah.
Leo says it's a hard life here.
Yeah. We're waiting for a little comment from Leo on his massive victory here. My solves weren't the best, but I somehow won with those.
Oh, that is Lucas. He doesn't mean any offense. It's savage.
That seems like a Timon comment.
Yeah.
It does seem like a Timon comment.
Not the best solves. Really not impressive. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the viewership. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks to Feliks for commentating. I know I liked his commentary. You guys seem to love his commentary, so that's very exciting. We'll try and have Feliks back for a few matches in the future. And thanks to Lucas and Leo for the great entertainment. All right, everyone. If you want to find out more about the Monkey League, you can go to lasermonkey.com for the schedule. I have posted next week's schedule already, so you can go check it out. And we're out. Any final words?
No final words for me. Thanks for the great hosting, and look forward to watching the next match either on. Oh, I think the next one I'll have to watch on replay. Is sleep.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.